Remember the old days of Manchester United, those glory days where we had teams that had the spine of the likes of Roy Keane, the likes of Gary Pallister, the likes of Nemanja Vidic, the likes of Paul Scholes, the likes of Ryan Giggs, even the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, the likes of Wayne Rooney, the likes of Dimitri Berbatov, Carlos Tevez. What is going on right now? Manchester United definitely has lost the way. We've spent a lot on players, a whole lot on players. But it appears to be that the more you spend, the worse the situation. New ownership, new manager. Yet, it seems everything is still the same way it has been. Guys, having done an extensive study on 10 years, the last 10 years of Manchester United, having done an extensive study on our transfer window, I have come to now understand, looking at the new manager and his system, I've come to now understand that there are 5 must-sign profiles of players that Manchester United needs to start getting, starting from this transfer window. Guys, I'm your host, Shegun, and this is Fans Corner. Let's jump right into it. What's up, my people? Welcome to Vertical Football. Welcome to another episode of Fans Corner. I'm your host, as usual, Shegun. And guys, as we said earlier, let's jump right into the 5 must-sign profiles. I think the first profile of players we need to get is in the defense. And I think it's partially done. Partially. Despite the chaos at Manchester United, despite the lack of strategy, right from the days of Glazers, even up to now, that you can still argue, what are we actually driving through? What actually did we gain in the first major transfer window under Ineos? Despite all those chaos, we suddenly were able to fix partially this first profile, which is solid and ball efficient defenders, solid and very good defenders on the ball. So I think you would want to agree that the likes of Martinez, the likes of Delete, the likes of Euro, this is, despite the chaos, we've been able to achieve a foundation. And I believe if you study the past teams we've had, starting from the likes of under David Moyes, even up till Eric Ten Hag, you find that one of the major problems we had was the fact that our defenders did not know how to build up the ball. We struggled. We struggled building up the ball from the back. It was clear, it was evident. But now I believe the foundations, the partial foundations of this first profile is being set, in the sense of you need defenders that are confident, that are overly confident with the ball. Look at the likes of Nemanja Vidic. Look at the likes of Rio Ferdinand. Even though you don't classify Nemanja as so much of a proficient or very good ball playing defender, but he was not bad on the ball. Look at the likes of West Brown, even coming up on the bench. These guys were decent on the ball. Looking at Rio Ferdinand, who was an amazing player on the ball. Manchester United has had in the past, after Sir Alex Ferguson, has had issues with having defenders who can play effortlessly from the back. Looking at even now the demands on modern football. And I believe we started by having the partial foundation for this, by having the likes of Martinez, Lisandro, looking at the likes of Lenny Yoro, looking at the likes of Matthias De Ligt. And even you can also look at the likes of Nusayr Mazraoui, coming in as Amorim is using them, coming in to play as a 3 at the back. These guys are good on the ball. These guys are okay on the ball. And I think that's the necessary foundation, and that's the necessary profile we need to have. Players, defenders that can build on the ball. Players, defenders that are very, very difficult, for the attacking opposition attackers to press on the ball. I think it's very, very important. As I said earlier, it's partial. There's still much work to be done, but that first profile has been set, and it's very, very important if Manchester United wants to get back to the top. The second profile, which I believe is missing, clearly missing, I want to first of all give credit to the player that is filling that role right now. I felt that in the last 2 months, there has been improvement in that area, and that area is the number 6 role. Manchester United needs, and I repeat, Manchester United needs a ball controller in the midfield. a ball controller number 6 in that midfield, a shield that can act as a shield to the defensive line, but also a master when it comes to on the ball affairs. And I think, I many people on this podcast, many fans on the podcast, we always know I have been critical about Casemiro. I just felt Casemiro was a panic buy. I felt Casemiro could not do the job. But also, I must also praise Manuel Ugarte. He has been trying his best in that role. He has been, doing some things I felt, it's good, but he's not exactly the kind of player we're looking for. Even though he's it's going to be a very, very important, addition to the team, and he has started proving that. But the reality is, we need someone who is a master on the ball, someone that can have an overview of the pitch and make us tick. Whenever I think about this, I think about the effect of the likes of Paul Scholes. I think about the effect of the likes of Michael Carrick. Players who see everything on the pitch. Players who are the one in charge of the orchestra. As the ball, dictating it, playing it there, letting everything move. I, for one, I might be partial, because I believe, in my opinion, that this is the most important position in the world of football, at least in modern football today, the role of the number 6. And I believe Manchester United needs a top person, a top player in this role. I'm not saying you should go and sign big, but I'm saying you need a top talent in this position, someone who has the understanding of seeing the whole pitch, someone who has the understanding of making teams suffer. Opposition suffer when they are lax. Now let me quickly just make it understand. Let me make it so that we can understand the fact of, I remember the time of Paul Scholes, the time of Michael Carrick, when they were the ones in the midfield. The ability to understand the whole pitch and to see that the right back of the opposition is very weak, and to ensure that since the right back of the opposition is very weak, all our balls for at least the next 10 minutes, next 15 minutes should be there. And let Cristiano be there, or let any other winger that is okay be there. And let us push it. Let's create an overload here, and let's switch up the pace, switch up sides quickly to make sure that center, that right back is isolated, and so that our wingers can exploit his weaknesses. These guys were very important. And I believe the second profile that Manchester United needs to be successful is the role of the number 6. You will need a number 6. A number 6 that is a master, on the ball. A master, a maestro on the ball. The third profile I think we need for Manchester United to be successful or to get back to the top, looking at Amorim's system, I think we need energy masters in the wing backs. I think you need energy. People who play with intensity, people who are hard workers. I think looking at Alex Ferguson's successful team, I think even the last team he built at Manchester United, I always marvel, even when I watch Patrice Evra, even up to now when I look at the clips of old, I just marvel at the energy this guy had. I marvel even at the energy of the likes of even Butner that came towards the end of Sir Alex Ferguson's, I think the last season of Sir Alex Ferguson. And I wonder and I marvel at the energy these guys had. Manchester United needs energy down the wing. I understand that some teams could go for the likes of inverted wing backs, or you go for wing backs who are just, I'm talking about energy. That's why I'm so much happy with the with the link of Federico Di Marzio from Inter Milan. I love him. I believe this is the perfect kind of profile we need on the wing backs. The perfect kind of profile. We need players who can push, players who can make the opposition suffer on the attack, the players who have also their capacity to be solid defensively. You want guys who are energy monsters on the wings. I really believe it. Players who can cross. Manchester United has lost some basics of the game. Looking at it, that even our left back, right backs, they can't even cross. They can't cross. They can't even, create overlaps and underlaps to our wingers when we're playing a winger system effectively. And I believe you just need that. You need people who are effective. We are playing a 3 at the back, so the wing backs already have the freedom to push. Because the three is already at the back. And I believe when you are playing a 3 at the back and you're using a wing back system, you need guys who are fit. You need guys who are who have intensity. You need guys who can just make the opposition suffer. The name of the game is make the opposition suffer. And I believe it has been so easy to play Manchester United. The opposition are always cruising when they play Manchester United. But I believe on the wing backs, both the left and the right, you need guys who are mentality monsters, who are energy monsters, who can make the opposition suffer. And I believe this is the third profile that is needed. Guys, the fourth profile, I have to say, and I think I have to break the news to a lot of fans, that Manchester United, for the number of years we have known under Sir Alex Ferguson, even under the likes of David Moyes, Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Erik ten Hag, and all the interims that have come in between, I have to announce to people that I may have not yet recognized this, that we are leaving the winger system under Amorim. It's a total overhaul. And I believe that's why you see the likes of Garnacho. You would just say Garnacho is a fantastic winger, even though, yes, clearly he has not developed a lot in his game. But you see, it's been dropped. And you see the likes of Bruno Fernandes play that position. You see the likes of Ahmad that has the ability to play inside, play the other position. So let me announce it officially to you that we are leaving. Manchester United is leaving the traditional flying winger system. Now what we need is what we call inside forwards. It's inside forward. That's the fourth profile we need. We need players that have the ability to play inside. Players who have the ability to play in between the lines. Players who have the ability, to play within the channels. Players who have the ability, to play in between the spaces, even when you are playing opposition with a low block. I've said it. I've studied teams that have won the Premier League, and I've even won things in global football, and they always have, players that can play within the channels, especially the Premier League. The likes of, Bernardo Silva, the likes of David Silva and Man City, even the likes of Foden. These are players that can just play in between. The likes of Odegaard, they can play in between. And I feel it's so much a sad thing that we've not had that in Manchester United. And I felt the first day I saw Ahmad play, I think that was not the first time he came. I think it was one match, maybe pre-season, I think, that I saw him. I was like, this guy has what it takes. This guy is the kind of player we need. And I think we need wingers, if you would call them, inside forward, if you would call them, but we need players that can play in between. That's what I like. I know it's very expensive, but the likes of Kvaratskhelia wouldn't be bad, but I think we need players who can play as inside forwards, because we believe that, for you to win the Premier League, there are certain qualities you need to have. Number one, you must have a very good defense that has and a good midfield that can deal with transitions. That's number one. That's foundational. One other thing you need to have to win the Premier League is to need to create chances, score goals. Those other things we know. But I think you need to have a team that, when faced with a team that is playing a low block, you can have a team that can do the job. And I believe Manchester United has not built that aspect, and that's why we need players that are inside forwards, players that have the ability to play inside, can also play outside, but most importantly play inside, and cause that, cause the opposition problems in that role. And lastly, the fifth profile thing I believe we need in Manchester United to get back to the top is we need a physical specimen as our striker, a striker who can act as a link up, a striker who is also fast to eat. And you see this under Ruben Amorim. We don't have physical specimens as strikers. I so much like the strikers we have right now, but I don't think they have developed so well to fit the role of what we need right now. I like the likes of Højlund, Zexi. You guys know on this podcast, I've said amazing things about them, but I believe what Manchester United needs is a physical specimen. We need someone who can do the link up. We need someone who can run behind the strikers, the defenders of the opposition, someone who, can bully the defenders of the opposition, someone who is good on the head. The two strikers we have, none of them are good on the head. We need a striker who can understand his movement in the box, can know that if this player is coming from this side, I should be here, I will receive the ball well. The likes of Rasmus Højlund has poor positioning in the box 18. The likes of Zexi doesn't even try to even position himself in the box 18. So we need a physical specimen that has these qualities. And I believe if you can get these 5 player profiles, I believe Manchester United will get back to the top sooner rather than later. So let me do a quick recap of the 5 profiles. The first I said is partially done in terms of we need solid ball proficient, solid ball playing defenders. And I believe partially we begin to do that with the introduction of the likes of Martinez, Lenny Yoro, Matthias Elite, even Nusama Mazarawi. We're beginning to get that. The second profile I said is we need energy monsters down the wing. Energy monsters as wing back, both left and right, that can make the opposition suffer, that can make, the opposition really suffer, and are also very good on the defensive to help out the team. And I think the third profile I said is that midfield maestro, that ball controller, that man in charge of the orchestra that can just be at the back, that anchor, and just be at the back and begin to play the strings, begin to move around his hands with the wand and make everything tick. And I said the fourth profile is the inside forward. We are officially announcing to you, Manchester United fans, that we are abandoning under RUBEN AMORIM, we are abandoning the traditional flying winger system and we're going into inside forward. And I believe this is a profile you need to have. The likes of Kvaratskhelia, the likes of Ahmad, get more players like Ahmad that can act as both wingers but also inside forward. It's going to be nice. And lastly, we need a physical specimen as a striker who can, have a very good link up, can run behind the defenders, can bully the opposition defenders, can use his head, can have good positioning in the box 6, and box 18, and I believe Manchester United will get back to the top. So guys, these are my opinions on the 5 most signed profiles for Manchester United, and I believe if Manchester United can do this, we'll get back to the top. I know you have your own opinions also, so please, as usual, drop the comments on your own opinions, and also if there's any player that comes to mind while we're mentioning these profiles, you can also drop it. Let's discuss on the comment section why you feel this player will be best suited in this role as one of those profiles. Thank you guys. It's always an amazing time to be with you, and as usual, don't forget to like this video, don't forget to subscribe, and most importantly, don't forget to share to your Manchester United fans, share to your fellow fans, let them enjoy this video. Thank you very much guys. To see you next time. Bye.